Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. This is crazy, man. So the fight that we all want to see is Beterbiev and Bivol come together to unify the light heavyweight division. That is the fight. Skill versus power. And that's what we all want. And that's what we should get. And that's what Bivol wants, right? Eddie Hearn was trying to push Canelo on him. Bivol said he's not really interested in that fight. The money is interesting. If he was to drop down to 168 for an undisputed fight, that sounds good to him. He's interested. He said, but at the same time, right now for him, he'd rather fight Beterbiev to unify, to become undisputed at 175. Because for Bivol, it's all about legacy. Not everybody is about money. Bivol has money. He doesn't have Canelo money, but he obviously has more money than what he thought he would ever have. Coming out of Russia, I would want to believe that culturally, he really wants to become the undisputed at 175 and cement history and legacy for his country, right? But Eddie Hearn has been putting so much pressure on him, and Bivol's not budging. So this is where politics comes into play, right? Check the politics of what's going on right now. So now WBC President Mauricio Suleiman, right? Now where's Suleiman from? From Mexico, right? Who else is from Mexico? Oh, Canelo. All those little clever belts, out of all those weird belts that the WBC has made for different bouts, Canelo probably snatched up about a third of them. So you got Eddie Hearn and everyone else trying to pressure Bivol to take a fight with Canelo. Bivol doesn't want it. So now look the politics. Mauricio Suleiman is trying to force this man into doing something he doesn't want to do. Isn't that crazy? So, in my opinion, they need to work hard on Bivol's team to just get him in that fight with, what's his name? Get him in that fight against Beterbiev as soon as possible. Because check this out. So now Beterbiev, right? Since what's his name? Since Bivol doesn't want to fight Canelo, he wants to fight Beterbiev. They're making it to where Beterbiev has to defend his WBC, IBF, and WBO titles against the mandatory Caleb Smith. Okay, so that's one fight. If he beats the mandatory Anthony Yarde on January 28th. So look, they're trying to tie up Beterbiev, so he has the fight on January 28th is not an issue. He's going to beat Yarde, okay? And then that would free him up to have the undisputed bout with Bivol. But no, they're blocking Bivol. And now they're saying, no, he needs to fight Caleb Smith. Now, that sucks because they're trying to force Bivol to have to wait 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months if he wants that undisputed fight at 175, which we know he's not going to do that. As a result, if there's no Beterbiev fight for Bivol, what does he have left? It's what Canelo wants. You see what's going on here? They're sandwiching Bivol by taking away the possibility of him fighting Beterbiev probably not until the end of 2023, probably to 2024. And that sucks. So what I think needs to happen is Bivol needs to work with his team and they need to make a fight immediately because it's my understanding, if I remember, Beterbiev defended, he had a mandatory defense for that WBC belt against Marcus Brown. So that means he should have a voluntary defense. So that means he doesn't have to face another mandatory. The WBC coming up with stuff. It's just like the whole Earl Spence situation fighting Thurman. You know, watch how things play out. All of a sudden, the WBC, they got Thurman and Spence about to fight. Instead of Spence getting in there fighting the WBA mandatory, which would be Stan Eunice. Hey, politics. But let's take a look at this, right? Some guarantee you Bob Arum wins the purse bid and Caleb Smith pulls out. Okay, so let's see. Some clown. Shouldn't Beterbiev be stripped as per WBC latest ruling? Okay. Somebody asked a question about the latest ruling. And they go on to say here, nope, they have no grounds. Beterbiev faces WBC mandatory last December. I told you that. So I was right, against Marcus Brown. He is allowed a voluntary or unification fight. He needs to push for a Bivol fight ASAP before mandatories come thick and fast for him for shit money and little recognition. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. So when you look at this, even the fans know that this is crazy. So look, what's Mauricio Suleiman's Twitter? Everyone needs to call him a backside for this. 2 wasteful fights for Beterbiev's career. Absolutely. He needs to fight Bivol, and that's the end of the story. He shouldn't be fighting anyone else. He should be fighting Bivol. I don't know what they're trying to do, spinning the wheels here. I thought you could skip your mandatory if you fought for unification. Hey, man, he already fought the mandatory. F that, make Beterbiev the franchise champ, which they do, right? So he can make undisputed with Bivol. Caleb Smith don't deserve. No, he doesn't. Caleb Smith doesn't deserve anything. He can wait till after undisputed. Let me say for our boxing fans in the strongest possible terms, so and so, Suleiman. This is crazy. Crazy. Man, it's a foul. So that's what it is, man. The fights that we want to see, people, it's one thing after the next, man. I just did a video about boxing kind of losing and, this system is being broken, man. And, even what they're doing, making Spence fight Thurman, that's a good fight. Don't get me wrong. But really, it should be Stan Eunice getting in there if they do it correctly and do it fairly. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining about that, but about the Spence Thurman. I want to see that fight. But this right here, Caleb Smith, come on, man. Caleb Smith doesn't deserve that shot, so we'll see what ends up happening here. But it's like Yardy. Look, Yardy's a good fighter. But you guys, this Beterbiev's, that other guy, man, he's the guy who fought Stan Eunice. I did a video on him, I can't remember his name. But these guys coming out of like Kazakhstan and Dagestan and out of Russia and and the guys fighting in the MMA world, the UFC, those guys are killers, man. You have to, you have to shoot them, man, to stop them. Like, those guys are animals. You get in the ring with them, someone's going to get violated. And I just think Beterbiev, he'll destroy Caleb Smith. And then he has so many amateur fights. Beterbiev. A lot of amateur fights where he destroyed a lot of these top boxers, professional boxers. See, people don't know that. Do your history. See, Beterbiev beat a lot of these top professional boxers right now. So with him going into a fight with Bivol, that's the match to make. That's skill versus power. And it's not just power. Beterbiev is very intelligent. Same way Bivol is. Half a step back, controlling the distance, working behind the jab, countering, getting inside, catch slip. The stuff that he does, the untrained eye can't catch it. Watch him when he's on the inside. That's why he is so successful as a boxer, because he has the power, he has a skill set, he has the IQ, everything. The man has, Beterbiev, if I remember, I know it's like 250, 300 some amateur fights. So he knows what he's doing. So, and he has all knockouts as a pro. So he's a problem for anybody. But that being said, we'll see what they end up doing. We know the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman, them guys know they can pull some strings and make things happen, can't they? But more than likely, they'll probably screw everybody out of the fight we want to see, and they'll probably put Bivol in a position to where he ends up going for the rematch against Canelo because he'll have no other choice. And that's boxing politics. Just take a look at it, people. Boxing politics as its finest. Blatant, in your face, for them to do this. Can't get what we want, making them fight Canelo, we're going to force him to do it by making the guy who he wants to fight, who has the other three belts, we're going to make it to where he won't be able to fight him the whole of 2023, where he has no options now. And he has to fight Canelo because that's the biggest money fight for him outside of the legacy fight, which he can't get anyway. It sucks. It sucks. But anyway, man, that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Shout out for everyone from all 7 continents. And I'm in the breeze.